Hello, my name is Kinch Rendell, and today I'm covering on-page search engine optimization. So these are the items on your web page and web pages on your website that you should have as a basic start for your search engine optimization. This document is available at ondemandprogramming.com/SEO/onpage.pdf. That on-demand programming only has one M in the programming, working on getting to their site. A little background on me. I've been a website developer on a Microsoft side doing ASP.NET back to ASP from about 1998 until now. Back in 2002, myself and two other partners formed RiptideHosting.com. At this company, I was the guy in charge of the website, in charge of a lot of the marketing and such, so that's where I started back in 2002, figuring out how do we get customers, how do we show up on the search engines, what do we need to do to compete there. Also, my background being a .NET developer, website developer, I have customers such as WDMD.com that, as well as working on his site functionality, we also worked on his SEO over the years and had great results using the same on-page techniques. And another site we'll go over in a bit is a very simple site that I had as kind of a micro site that basically no photos. It was one page until maybe 2 years ago, and it also ranks very well for the search engine terms. So what all can you change on your pages, or should you have on your pages? Well, obviously you need a lot of text. You need to focus that text and content in on your keywords or key phrases. Also, there's some very basic places that people seem to miss out on putting their keywords. We're going to cover those being meta tags, the title of windows, and the content, and even on images, the alt tags of those. So let's start over here. So when a search engine comes to a page, what can they see? They can see images, but can they read an image? You and I can read what's on an image. Let's say this is an image right here, which it is. We can read that, but a search engine doesn't know how much text is on that image. So one of the big keys I'm looking for is how much of the site can we have as text? The more text, the more search engines can see, the more opportunity you have to tell the search engine as well as your clients what your site is focused on. That starts right here at the very top of the window. On our site, we have our keywords, key phrases, at least our three main ones right there. Dedicated Windows Server Hosting, Virtual Server Hosting, and Server Colocation. Many sites either have nothing up there, they have their company name, or maybe they have the page title. So for a contact page, they contact us. Instead of that, let's go ahead and focus that in. If it's going to be a contact page, at least say contact Riptide Hosting for server hosting or something along those lines where you get some keywords in there. After that, where else can we have some key terms and key phrases? We can have those definitely in our meta tags, which are not seen by us, but the search engines can see those. Many people would claim they're not important. For the benefit of the doubt, I'd say at least put them in there just in case the search engines give you even any kind of credit for those being there. So how would you know if your site or similar site, what meta tags are they using? There are several ways to view this. We're going to start with by viewing the source. I will show you both in Internet Explorer and this is Firefox. So if we right click on the page, you can say View Page Source in Firefox. So once again, right click, View Page Source. Once you select that, the new window appears. What we're looking at here is the HTML that was sent to your web browser. And if we look around from the top down, we'll see all of a sudden meta repeated over and over again. Okay, I've got some meta tags is what these are called. The two I want to focus on today are these two right here. Meta description and meta keywords. Every page in your site should be focused in with a description of that page and keywords or key phrases for that page. You'll see Windows Server Hosting, Windows Dedicated Server Hosting, a nice little concise sentence about our company with some of the keywords in there as well. And the title tag that we saw up on top of this window, you'll notice, is right here. So there goes our title for the page. So at the very least, if you don't have these, go ahead and get those in there. And do not focus your page on some keywords. It's a great time to figure out what are each of my pages going to focus on. Once you figure those out, you can have those in your meta tags, your title, your description, and also content on your page. That really drives home the point that we are very focused on these. Search engine goes, wow, they keep repeating these. They must really be pushing this on this page. This page may really be about dedicated server hosting. If not, they're really trying to pull a fast one on us. Some more background real quick. So I keep saying this stuff works. Let's go out to GoDaddy.com. Not GoDaddy, Google.com. And let's look for something else when I type it into its own browser, on search. Something we've optimized two of these sites for is Denver Server Colocation, which is if you have a server of your own you'd like to place in the data center, we'll just charge you for space, basically. We scroll down here and we see, oh, Riptide Hosting / colocation page. Okay, that's number one. Next, wow, RiptideHosting.com. So we actually have two of our pages indexed in the top two. Then you go down, another company, and then Denver-Colocation, which is my little micro site. Little shout out real quick to Jack, Spirco.com, 5 Minutes with Jack. He has quite a few helpful episodes on here. Check out as many as you can. He brought up the microsite idea to me, which I realized, oh, I created a microsite. And here in a minute, I'll show you another item he brought up that I installed to help you see some of these different items. So coming back to our search, this site was optimized with no links coming into it whatsoever. It was one page. For most of the years, until maybe 2 years ago, I added the second page to it. Doesn't have any links into it that I know of. I haven't searched for it. And it still shows up this well. And I have to put Denver in front. And also my location is Denver. You can now change this to see how you're showing up for the country by removing it or putting it in certain cities to see if your site's showing up there. Most of the sites I've worked on, we focused on being a big fish in a little pond, meaning we'll go ahead and put Denver or Colorado or Texas if that's where we get most of our business from. And also I'd say as a starting point, that's a great place to start. Once you start showing up there with some link building, I believe you could show up across the country or across the world if that's your point. Coming back, viewing the source of a web page. Let's say you're not technical and someone else designed your site for you. You're not sure if you have these items. Well, once again, we can view the source. Or with the plugin, let's go back to that real quick. So JackSpirco.com, Jack over there had mentioned a couple weeks ago about installing a Quark search status into Firefox. You notice down here, that's what I've installed, and you can pick if you want to show up on the bottom or on the top. So we come back over to dedicated servers. Instead of right-clicking and saying View Page Source, I'm going to right-click down here and say Show Meta Tags. So any site I go to, I can click on this. It's going to show me the title if they have it, if they have a description, keywords, and any other meta tags that are in there. So that's how you can also see what is your competition using. If they're showing up high for something you want to show up high for, check out. More than likely they have their keywords in there on their pages. And then once you see that, let's say, oh, there's Windows Server Hosting, Windows Dedicated Server Hosting, Virtual Server Hosting. Well, let's see how many times these server and hosting words show up on this page. There's a couple ways to do this. If you have nothing but the browser, no tool installed, Control F, holding those two keys will open the Find menu. This will work in Internet Explorer or Firefox. Let's see, we're going to type in server. Click Highlight All. And wow, we really do have server in here quite a bit. I think this page is focused on servers. Let's see what we have for hosting. Hosting's in here quite a bit as well. And this is our newer site we released about a week ago. So we actually took off some of the text. We'll probably work on adding more back over time. But the home page, we cleaned it up a lot and focused it on our 3 main items here. So once again, text, 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 content, content, content. Let's look at the client I worked with for 7 or 8 years now. He builds metal buildings in Texas. So we focused him on look at the top of the site, Texas metal buildings, Texas steel buildings, Texas barns, well, Texas barns twice even. It may even be Texas barns, Texas steel barns. Let's go back over and see how this site's doing if we search. Once again, I'm leaving my location as Denver. I'm going to type in Texas metal buildings. And he's number 2. Let's try Texas metal barns. He's number 1. He seems to bounce around depending on if he's searching from Texas or I'm searching in the top 3 consistently now. How did he get there? We focused the site and we added more content over the years. With more content, we could stick in more of the items we care about. So once again, let's go ahead and prove that we stuck in Texas Metal Buildings to Texas Metal Barns. Type in Barns. Maybe we only have one so far. Metal. Not as much metal. Buildings. Building. And here comes the kicker. So not a lot of those. Texas. I see another Texas there. Barn Dominions. So this is a good point that even though we don't have the words in there over and over again, the fact that we have our meta tags as well as our title, they are showing up quite well when we went over Google and said Texas Metal Barns. So once again, the key, we added lots of text, we added photos. Let's go back. What else do we stick in pages to, or make sure we have in our pages? Meta tags, the keywords, the meta keywords, description keywords, page title, H tags, and alt tags. Let's look at Texas Metal Buildings. There are quite a few photos here. The new browsers are not showing the alternate text for images like the older ones did. If you hover over an image and you see text, your browser is showing that, and maybe that's something you can set in the newer ones. So if I want to see what's behind this image, do we have any alt text? Or if you're looking at your site wondering, hey, do I have any alternate text? You may also, once again, right-click. We have a selection on here. View page source. And I'm going to look for these image tags. And we keep going. There's the image, height. Hey, alternate. This is telling the search engines, or anybody that can't display the image, what that image is of. WDMB Texas Steel Building Manufacturer. There goes Texas. Let's find another alt tag. So I'm going to do a Control F, ALT. The next alt tag is right here, Texas Metal Buildings lean-to, roof on the side. So in addition to having text underneath each photo describing what that is, we also stick it in the alt text. Once again, more of a chance for Google to know, what is this image of? What is this site really focusing on? And I really believe if you ever think you're going to have a photo show up in Google when you're searching on images or searching a general search and you see 4 or 5 photos show up, you've got to have an alternate tag so as Google knows what that picture is of. Another item we had listed here. View index pages. So when you create a new site, how do the search engines find out about you? You can go and list your site to let them know it's there. You can get links into your site. How do you really know if it's there yet? Sometimes you'll search for a keyword and you'll show up on page 10 or 12 or 20. Another easy way to do that, using this tool or going to Google. Show index pages for Google, I click on in Firefox with the plugin installed. Or if you go to Google, you can type in site:/wdmb.com. And it will show 25 pages. If I change this to the site hosting, there's 52 pages. If you had a brand new site, you might very well not show up. I've done nothing yet. With on-demand programming, and yet they've indexed it. At some point, they figured out it was there. Oh, it's interesting. Because I think I have my test site underneath there. It found all those. So at some point, if you ever get a link over there or submit that site, they will find out about it. But that's a good way to find out, hey, do the search engines even know I'm there? Or at least in this case, it's Google. And all the search engines have a link type deal like that. It will show you what have they indexed on which pages. So I mentioned H tags. We just covered alternate tags for all your images. I'd make sure you have them in there with some of your keywords and a good description of what that image is. An H tag is simply another tag as though you have an image tag or a paragraph tag. But it lets Google know, or search engines know, that, hey, it's important. So if we have all this text, click on it. If this is an H1 or H2 or H3 tag, Google knows, hey, it's bigger, it's larger text, it must be more important. So once again, we're focusing in on our important keywords or key phrases being put there. I even went so far as to make sure our banner, we removed an image here and made this text once again. I look for every opportunity to put text. I gave up here and actually took the images, but they look pretty sharp. So look at another page here. Dedicated server hosting. Put the keyword Denver in there. Lots of text there. List our pages again down here. On the contact page, a lot of people seem to have images once again. This is all text. So if somebody's there searching for us, I bet they're going to find us. That's not a reason not to put your company name at the top of every single page. More than likely, your company's going to show up for your company name. If you aren't returning a page on your site for your company name, then go ahead and focus your Contact Us page in on that. So coming to this last paragraph here, relevant content is key. As Jack Spirko would say, add something every day or add something every week. He does a lot of blogging or a lot of podcasting. The more the better. Search engines love text, they love content. The more you can give them, the more often they'll come back and check your site out. That's why blogs do so well. They're always getting people with comments on different topics. So if you go search for something he's posted about, guess what? You've got a lot of content on your site. Google might find that very attractive and come back often to index it because they know they get lots of new items. So in summary, I'd like to say these are all basic, simple steps that you should make sure you handle when you set up your site. Or if you go back and wonder, hey, I'm not showing up as much as I'd like to, go ahead and tailor each of your pages to several keywords, key phrases, and make sure you have lots of content. If it's helpful for people, guess what? They might even link to it. That's the next step for the next level to show up even higher and higher on Google is to have links in. The more content that's relevant, that people find helpful, they're going to come into this. If you have any questions, please contact me via riptidehosting.com or ondemandprogramming.com. There are links there to email addresses, and if you mention Kinch in that, I will see that and will be able to get back to you. So once again, over here at riptidehosting.com, a little simple site. Every so often I'll get something on this one. I mean, I don't have a form page yet, just simply text, nothing else, and yet it shows up very well for what it was tailored to go toward. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have questions once again, contact me. Thanks.